Hi everybody and welcome to English for You. I'm Pat.
And I'm Elsie.
And today we're talking about something called blah blah checkouts.
Blah blah checkouts. Yeah. So blah blah means somebody's talking?
Yeah, blah 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 blah, that kind of sound you hear when people talk. And it's a checkout, so it's a place where people can talk. Let's warm up by thinking, do you often chat to strangers?
No, I don't. Unless I need their help. I don't like to talk to strangers.
Okay, fair enough.
What about you?
It used to happen to me a lot more when I first came to Taiwan. And these days when I go outside Taipei more often, people see a foreigner and they sometimes want to come and practice their English.
Yeah.
They want to just ask some questions. They're curious. Who are you? Where do you come from?
Right.
Why are you here in Taiwan? And that's kind of fun and interesting maybe the first 10 or 12 times. After that, you kind of think, I've had this conversation a few too many times.
Right, so how do you deal with it?
I kind of put my headphones on and say very kindly, I'm sorry, I'm a little busy right now. I've got to make a phone call or something like that. But if you're staying in a place, if you go to somewhere, if I'm eating maybe by myself and I have to share a table with someone, I don't mind having a chat with them for a bit. There's no harm in it. You might make a new friend or something like that. And some people do like to chat, and that's what we're going to look at in today's article. Let's find out more.
Reading. Blah blah checkouts. Talk while you pay. In recent years, much of our lives has become automated. We often spend more time talking with computers than with actual people. Some supermarkets in Europe want to bring human service back and have introduced something that's called blah blah checkouts. Most big supermarkets use self-service checkouts. The entire shopping experience can be completed without talking to anybody. This might sound convenient for some people, but for others, it can be a lonely experience. The French supermarket chain, Carrefour, has a solution. It has introduced blah blah checkouts or chit-chat checkouts. This is a type of checkout where customers can take their time to chat with the cashier. They don't need to rush. There are similar checkouts in the Netherlands. For many customers, this chance to talk with a real person is very meaningful. The cashiers who work at the blah blah checkouts also enjoy chatting with people. More and more supermarkets are opening blah blah checkouts in Europe. They want to make the shopping experience feel personal again for the people who want it.
So the article starts by saying, in recent years, much of our lives has become automated. Much of our lives means a lot of the things we do in our daily lives, the jobs we do most days or every day. And it's become automated. If something is automated, it is done automatically by a machine, by a robot, by a computer. No humans are involved. Think of an ATM. Before, people would have to go into the bank and ask a person, I would like to take some money out, sign this form, and so on. Now, you can just go to an ATM, the machine in the wall, just tap, 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 get my money, it's done. That is automated.
Automated 这个形容词呢，就是自动化的。所以近年来呢，我们有很多的生活都自动化了，像是刚提到的 ATM 自动柜员机，它也是一个例子。那麦当劳也是一个例子哦。There are self-service ordering machines in McDonald's. We don't see cashiers that often anymore.
Yeah, Moss has got some of the same things, right? You can tap to order. I've been to it's more common right now in the UK to have this kind of thing, but you are seeing it more in Taiwan. I've been to sushi restaurants where you just order on an iPad and then the food comes. You don't need to talk to anybody. So the article carries on and says, we often spend more time talking with computers than with actual people. Here, talking with computers would mean typing it in, using your phone, that sort of thing, communicating. But either way, we're not talking with an actual person. Here, actual is used to mean something that is real. It's not an idea, it's not something imagined, it's not something in a picture or a video on a computer screen or a phone. Actual people means real people, people who are there. They have faces, voices, personalities, ideas, and so on. Here's an example. The father takes his kids to the zoo quite often so they can see actual animals, not just pictures.
Actual 这个形容词呢是实际的、确切的、真实的。Actual animals 也就是例句提到这两个字呢，就是真实存在的动物们。那还有像是 events， 我们也可以用 actual 来形容。Actual events 代表就是真实事件，像是我们可以说 The story is based on actual events， 代表故事是以真实事件为基础写成的。那再来呢，像是 words 也可以用 actual 来形容。Actual words 那就是真正有说出来的话。For example, I couldn't believe those were his actual words. 我不敢相信他真的有说出那些话。
Okay, so all this time in our lives, we're using computers, we're using our phones, we're interacting with ticket machines, and not everybody likes that. We see in the article, some supermarkets in Europe want to bring human service back, to have humans actually doing those jobs again, and have introduced something that's called blah blah checkouts. Let's check out the word introduce here. So here we're not talking about introducing people. Hi, this is my friend Stephen, etc. This is to bring something into existence or to use it for the first time. If a company creates a new product, they will introduce it. Say, hey everyone, we've made this new thing. Come and use it. Come and buy it. Hey, our restaurant is introducing a new dish. You can now order it and eat it. Here's another example. Steve Jobs introduced the first iPhone in 2007.
Introduce 这个动词呢，代表的是推行，特别指的是公司推行新产品。所以刚刚例句提到的是贾伯斯在2007年的时候推行了第一支的 iPhone。那再来呢 ，introduce 还可以是另外一个意思哦，它可以代表介绍。For example, please introduce yourself， 那就是要请你介绍你自己，或者是 Let me introduce you to my sister， 让我把你介绍给我的姐姐认识。
And they're introducing blah blah checkouts. Blah blah, it's kind of the sound if you hear a lot of people all talking at once, you'll hear sort of blah 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 blah. That's what you'll hear. We also use it just to mean people talking, not about anything important, just blah blah blah, people talking, so on. And this is happening at a checkout. A checkout is the place where you pay for your food, your goods, your other things in a supermarket or store. You've picked it up, you've got it in your basket, you've tried it on if it's clothes. Now you come to the checkout where you say, I want to buy this. Here's my money, here's my credit card, and so on. That place is the checkout.
Checkout 这边是一个字哦，然后是个名词，代表是收银台、结账柜台。So we're talking about blah blah checkouts, the checkouts that can talk.
Exactly. Now, this isn't like a talking machine. We'll find out more in a moment. We see in the article most big supermarkets, certainly in Europe, where we're talking about here, use self-service checkouts. So that means the ones you just scan your item, put your money or your credit card in and move on. You don't talk to people. In, RT Mart over in Nehu, they've got this kind of thing.
大润发，对呀，所以这边说到有很多大型的超市都会使用这个自助结账的柜台。And then the article says the entire shopping experience can be completed without talking to anybody.
That's right. You can do the entire thing and not open your mouth. The entire thing means the whole thing, the complete thing from start to finish. Go into the store, don't talk. Fill your basket, don't talk. Pay for it, don't talk. Walk out, don't talk. That's the entire shopping experience. Here's another example. Steve was too tired to watch the entire movie, so he stopped it and went to bed.
Entire 代表的是整个的、全部的，是个形容词。那我们还可以用它来形容什么呢？像是 entire town 整个城镇 ，entire city 整座城市，或者是 entire country 整个国家。所以这边说到啊，现在整个购物的过程当中，可能完全不用跟真人对话。 and some people might not like it.
Right, now some people, like, it's great, it's fast. I just go in, I don't need to wait behind people or talk to anyone. I don't need to see anybody. As the article says, this might sound convenient for some people, but for others, it can be a lonely experience. They miss that human touch.
没错，那我们这边看到 some people 还有 others， 它的用法是什么呢？ Let's find out. 今天的 Language in Focus 我们要讲到的是 some 跟 others 的用法，也就是复数不定代名词的用法比较。那第一个，如果范围不限定的话，我们要列举两类，我们就用 some 跟 others， 或者是 some， 指的是呢一些或是另一些。那我们用到的 others， 它代表的是 other 加上一个复数名词。For example, some people like working from home, while others prefer to work in the office. 有些人喜欢在家工作，不过呢，另外一些人喜欢在办公室工作。那如果是要列举三类的话，我们可以用到 some、others 还有 still others. For example, some people exercise to lose weight, others exercise to stay healthy, and still others just do it for fun. 所以一分三类有什么呢？有些人运动是为了要减重，其他人运动是为了要健康，另外一些人运动只是为了好玩。那要记得写作句子的时候，我们要在 still others 前面加上连接词，像是 and 或是 but。那再来第二大类，范围限定的时候，如果我们要列举两类，我们可以用 some of 还有 the others。 For example, my friend has 7 dogs at home. Some of them like to bark, but the others are quiet. 有一些喜欢叫，有一些则是非常的安静。那如果是要列举三类的话呢，我们可以用 some of, others 还有 the others。Okay, so back to the article. 课文说到啊，自助结账服务对有些人来说是很方便的，但对另外一些人来说是很寂寞的体验。
Okay, so what are they going to do with these blah blah checkouts? How can we get more human service back in for the people who want it? The article says the French supermarket chain Carrefour, sometimes people say Carrefour, Carrefour, I think. I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced, but the French supermarket chain Carrefour has a solution. Now, this is a chain of supermarkets. A chain is where a company owns many stores or restaurants, and they all have the kind of same appearance and they sell the same basic things. They have the same food if it's a chain restaurant, or coffee if it's a chain coffee shop, or clothes if it's a clothing shop. So if you go into a Starbucks in the US and a Starbucks in Taiwan, they won't be exactly the same, but it'll look pretty similar. Most of the drinks will be the same. Same if it's a Gap clothing store. You buy Gap stuff here, it's the same stuff. It's a chain. They have many locations. It could be almost all over the world. Could be a chain that only exists in one country, but they're all the same kind of appearance and they sell the same stuff. For example, McDonald's is one of the biggest fast food chains in the world.
Chain 这边当作连锁店来解释，所以刚刚说到的 fast food chains 那就是速食连锁店。那像家乐福，它就是一个 supermarket chain 超市连锁店。And they have a solution here.
Right, the article says it has introduced, there's that word again, blah blah checkouts or chit chat checkouts. That's another name for it. Chit chat is kind of a casual way of saying a casual conversation. If you think about the word chat as a noun or a verb, that's a more formal word for a casual conversation. Chit-chat is a casual way of saying the same thing. Oh, we had a nice chit-chat. Oh, those two are chit-chatting away. That's how we use this word. It's just a casual way of saying chat.
Chit-chat 代表就是聊天、闲谈，所以呢，我们可以说 too much chit-chat at the workplace might get you in trouble. 在办公场合，如果一直闲聊，可能会让你惹上麻烦。So you can chat at blah blah checkouts or chit-chat checkouts.
Exactly. It's a place to talk. We see in the article, this is a type of checkout where customers can take their time to chat with the cashier. To take your time means to do it at a pace you choose. You're not going too fast, you're not rushing to finish. Almost always, this means you're doing it slowly and comfortably. You take as much time as you need.
Take one's time to do something, 那就是某人不用急，慢慢来做某件事情。For example, take your time to get ready. I'll come to pick you up in 2 hours. 慢慢准备，我2小时之后再来接你。
And as we said, we chat with people. To chat or to chit-chat means to talk casually. You could talk about many different subjects. Vacations, movies, what have you been doing recently? They're not too serious. You're not sitting down for a, let's think about our lives conversation. You're just sort of chatting about many, many things, catching up. Chinwag would be a kind of a British slang word. We have a good chinwag with someone.
Chinwag.
Chinwag, because your chin wags up and down.
哦 ，OK。那 chat 是聊天，那跟别人聊天，和某人聊天，我们用到介系词 with，chat with somebody. So do you like to chat with people?
Yeah, if it's somebody I know well, you can sit down and, have a coffee or a tea or something like that, and you could chat for hours catching up. Here, people are chatting with a cashier. A cashier is the person who works at a checkout or a similar kind of counter. They do things like scanning items, taking your money, putting things in bags, dealing with credit cards, dealing with, I want to return these goods, that kind of thing, but mainly with cash, hence cashier.
Cashier 代表是收银员，所以这边说到 in care for, you can chat with the cashier.
That's the idea. The article says they, meaning the customers, don't need to rush. To rush is to hurry, to try and do something quickly because there's a lot to do or you don't have enough time to finish it all. You've got to rush to get things done. Usually that means you're going faster than you might want to. Sometimes it means you go so fast you might make a few mistakes and not do things properly. There's a couple of ways we can use this word. You have lots of time to finish this homework project. You don't need to rush. Or our plane doesn't leave for 4 hours. We don't need to rush.
Rush 这个动词呢，代表仓促做或是急速做某事。那 rush 还可以当什么呢？可以当冲跟奔的动作，像是 rush to 加上地方，那就是冲奔到那个位置。For example, I got up late this morning, so I had to rush to school. 今天早上晚起，所以必须要冲到学校去。那 rush 也可以当名词用哦，像是 in a rush 就是 in a hurry，匆忙地。For example, why are you in such a rush? Slow down and take your time. 为什么这么匆忙呢？慢慢来，不用急。
So this is the Carrefour supermarket chain in France, and we read there are similar checkouts in the Netherlands.
The Netherlands 代表是荷兰，荷兰也有这样的 checkouts. The article says, for many customers, this chance to talk with the real person is very meaningful.
That's right. Here the word meaningful means it's full of meaning. It's important in a personal way. It means a lot to you when this thing happens. So I think about like my grandma, for example, or some of the older generation. They grew up talking to people when they went to the supermarket, maybe recognizing them in a local supermarket.
Yeah.
How's things? How's the family? And bringing that back will have a lot of meaning for them. It'll make them feel less lonely, more connected to a world that now moves pretty fast with phones, computers, technology, and so on. Here's another example. It's polite to write a thank you note to someone who sends you a gift. This is a very meaningful way to express your feelings.
Meaning 代表是意义，字尾加上 ful 就变成这个形容词，有意义的、重要的 meaningful。
And it's not only the customers who get something out of this. The article says the cashiers who work at the blah blah checkouts also enjoy chatting with people.
他们也是很享受跟人们聊天的感觉。And then the article says more and more supermarkets are opening blah blah checkouts in Europe.
Yeah, it's obviously something that works for people. It says in the article, they want to make the shopping experience feel personal again for the people who want it.
这里的形容词 personal 啊，它可以解释为亲善的或是私人的，所以这样子的一个互动会让他们觉得特别的亲切。
Right, this isn't for everyone. Some people will just move quickly, do it automatically and leave. But maybe you want to have a talk with somebody. Maybe you know them a little. And there's like a special little chit-chat checkout where you can do that. That brings us to the end of today's article, so let's now go to today's For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So it's two questions here, really. What other things in the modern world have become automated? What are the good and bad things about letting computers do people's jobs?
So many things have become automated. Like we have all these self-service machines.
Yeah,
and we
buying
have,
tickets for things.
right,
You
buying
can
groceries.
check into an airport without needing, if you haven't got a big bag to check, if you're just doing a short trip, you can just scan my passport
Right.
and on I go.
And we also have self-driving cars.
Yeah, that's kind of becoming automated.
But this might make some people, or maybe more people, lots of people, lose their jobs.
Yes, it does mean that people who used to do these jobs don't do these jobs anymore. So that's a bad thing about it. Also, bad thing, I would say, if a computer system goes wrong here, it messes up hundreds of people's
Right.
things all at once. Whereas if it's just a person, they might make a mistake with one person, one customer, then they can fix that and then they won't make the mistake again. But when a computer system crashes, it gets lots. On the other hand, it is faster. It is more convenient.
Right.
You can just go very quickly. If you don't want to spend a lot of time doing these things, it's a lot easier. ATMs can be open for 24 hours.
Right.
You don't need a person to work in the middle of the night to get some money that you might need in an emergency.
Okay, so I think that's all what we have for today.
Yeah, there's good points and bad points about this kind of automation, but one thing's for certain, we will have to live with it. It is just nice, though, when people still take the time to add a personal touch. That's all the time we've got for today. Thanks for watching. For English For You, I'm Pat.
I'm Elsie.
And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Actual. My grandmother doesn't like using ATMs. She prefers to go into the bank to speak to an actual person. Introduce. It's great to see that Matsuda introduced its first electric car earlier this year. Entire. Johnny was so tired that he fell asleep for the entire plane ride. He only woke up once we had landed. Chain. Evelyn became rich after she created a successful chain of coffee shops. Rush. I think I'm going to go for a little walk around the park. There's no need for me to rush today. Meaningful. Billy had a very meaningful conversation with his dad about his school life.
智慧小补帖。
Automated. Checkout. Chit-chat. Cashier.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net